All right, good afternoon. It's VindaCator here from iPlayMore.com. Quick reminder, subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch. Gonna turn my headphones up. There we go. Hard to hear myself. All right, so I'm trying to get a better balance of the music in the game and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully this all works out. So make sure you go to iPlayMore.com, sign up for our video game test of Thunder. And I'm the game designer developer for a game called Thunder Throne Wars. And when is our multiplayer test? Well, I don't know yet. But I can tell you some encouraging news. And that's that we took a completely different, which is the same as our multiplayer setup, but it's somebody else's. And we tested it, and it worked. So we somehow missed some... This stuff's, you know... It's like wiring a car, I guess, or a house. Maybe it's more like a house. But anyways, maybe it's more like an apartment building. But anyways, we missed something. So what we're doing is we're totally rebuilding the Thunder multiplayer on this new code set that we tested, and it works. I'm just going to turn that down a little bit more. And yeah, so we might have a date, but I don't have anything yet. So, the Brood. So that's the dark side. And so I've done a little bit of updates to this. So this is our character Balaam, done by Patrico. And he actually sent this in different images, and I kind of found it and went, oh, I'm going to put this together. Because basically what's happening is this on the left side is how the character looks in the game. And we do this really cool thing. Because when I'm playing MMOs and I level up and I'm like, so what? A little light flashed and I'm another level. I gotta go change all my gear. I gotta go back to town. It's like a drag to level up in another game. So what I thought is I thought, well, let's completely redesign that. And you know how single player games have like a boss, and then so you fight through all the minions and then you come to the boss? Well, what happens if you were the boss? That's the question. So the latent abilities in our game, really you become the boss. So that's what happens when you level up. So you can see here, this is what Balaam looks like normally, and then he starts glowing, and then you can see him with his mouth open. And of course, there's going to be a whole bunch more to that, but I just wanted them to hint at that a little bit. So Patrico also did Suiel. So he we're just getting these really highly talented concept artists to do a couple characters for us, and that's what's happened here. So he did Suiel. And then this just came in. This is Vladas. And that's done by Luciendo, I think. I don't know how do I say his name. Hopefully that's right. And he did something fancy with logos and stuff on the top and his name on the bottom, but it's not 1080p, so I had to redo this. But I like how this is hinting at the dragons. Hint, hint. I'm not going to say anything more. And this is kind of a different world, a different location. And this is just concept art, so it kind of looks like a 3D model, but it's just concept art, so it's the direction we're going in. Now, on the kin side, so, and I put everybody's name in here because I want to always honor the people that have, supported the project or contributed to the project. And so a long time ago, after our last project, but way before this one, kind of in the middle, I got a hold of this. He was actually a comic artist his name was Andrea, and he did this, but he didn't paint it. And so I wanted action images. I wanted, hey, how is our game going to look? I don't want static pose characters. I want to know what they're going to look like when they're in action. And this image really helps me understand something too, because in the old game, the idea was, in fact, we even in the first prototype, we had a countdown. And we would count down when your scepter was ready, when your when your elemental throne power ability was ready. And so, but I've come up with this much better idea, and that's that now that the scepter, because you can see it's held back. So when it's held back and out of her view, it's not ready. And then when it comes up into her view, then it's ready. So anyways, Maria did the painting on this, which is great. This was done by the late Scott Clark. Now, in our very first project, he came into the prototype game that we were developing, and he said, hey, I'm from DC Comics, and I want to help, new game companies create really great characters. So he drew this. It didn't have any feet. It didn't have wings, but it was basically kind of like this, and just black and white. He didn't color it. And so Maria came along and she finished this. So it's great. Very happy about that. And then all by herself, she did Samara. So Samara is done in concept. And so, of course, we have to do the 3D models. Now, last week I showed that we have some time of day effects in our game. So I'm just going to whip through that again. You can see the sky slowly, the sun setting, stars coming out. I'm going to adjust the mouse here a bit because I want to have the throne in there. So there we go. About every 15 seconds I took a shot. So it just, because we don't want to sit here for 35 minutes until this happens. So there we go. So just a quick reminder, go to iPlayMore.com, sign up for our video game test. Let's turn on the camera, wave hello. And let's go see what's happening in Unreal. So this is just in the editor, but we got some new stuff. Like that right in front of me. So one of the new things we got is the claw. Now this stuff isn't functioning yet. You're just seeing it in the game. So I wanted to get all the devices in. This is your base device. You'll have this all the time. This is your Dark Agony. And now we've got the Rapid Impact. So this is kind of like a rocket launcher, but we don't have the explosion yet. But got the blast happening, and it's got a lot of recoil. You can see. You like to rocket jump? That's the baby for you. But of course it's got recoil, so it'll pull you. And then it'll also, when you do the right mouse, it'll push you. So you can kind of fight backwards, which is kind of cool. And I guess that's it for new devices. Yeah, because we've seen everything else so far. So that was the Wolverine in the red. And the Hog. And then the Oculus. Now, not all the effects, these things aren't functioning the way they're going to function in the final game. So we are looking for somebody to help us with the programming on that. All right, let me just go. Let's just run through some gameplay here. Just going to switch to this guy. This guy's great for moving around. Oops, I'm underneath the bridge. That water just holds you down. So in our game, you capture the throne. Your own throne first. And I always start on the kin side because we don't have multiplayer working yet. So that's kind of how things are set up. And the other thing is these placeholder models that we got. If I want 30 points, I got to face that way. Okay, you can see I collected 2 throne energies. That's the minimum. Now, we got to do a little bit of touch-up on some of that stuff. I don't know why I go this way. I'm always caught in the trees. So it's going to take my 2 throne energies. And I've created a stronghold. And yes, the trees do block you. You know, this is the game that we wanted to make years ago. I kind of laugh at myself because we were using a much less sophisticated game engine. And I think we threw away about 7 levels because they just wouldn't run anymore because we were trying to do this. Now, I'm collecting throne energy. I'm not supposed to unless this is a live throne. It's not. It's
the king. King of Dominations.
How did I walk over that without tripping it? See the sun coming up? Now this device is supposed to shoot a projectile, and when it hits the ground, it's supposed to explode, but we don't have that happening yet. We just got this in. And we're kind of limping along. We have a small team. It's not funded yet. And this is just a prototype. So all I gotta do is touch this throne. And I've created an empire. Now, in my left hand is a scepter, and I wanted to show off we've got a Balaam's Fire scepter in the game now, but it's not, I'm not able, we don't have a way to switch scepters yet. So, in the player's hand, you see that's just a placeholder. That will all change. But anyways, on my left hand is a scepter, and so after you've created an empire, about this far away, there'll be some different distances. You're going to be able to look down and place a throne, and that's what this is a place throne. And there's going to be lightning, fire, ice, and storm thrones. We'll place them across the level, and you'll march all the way over the enemy's side. We'll just go there. So that's the majority of the gameplay, and that's kind of like if you take an MMO, instead of grinding 80 levels, you place some thrones, you get all those awesome powers, fire, ice, storms, and lightning. And you can see the brood throne here. Now usually I come out, it's just easier to look at this from a distance, but that stops the time of day, which is happening very nicely. So here's the throne icon. This is their energy. And once we build our thrones across the map, we're going to shoot this thing and destroy it. Sort of like that. And of course my scepter will be working once we have our thrones working. So still lots of work to do. But again, like I said, this is just a prototype. It's nice to get some new things in here. And we'll just go run some paths. That's energy. Energy. Shield. This is a shrine. As you can see, it's filling up my shields. Now on my device there, you can see on my right hand, on the left hand side of it, you see that little window. That's going to be the energy display. So that's how we're going to do it. We're going to try to take as much information off of the HUD as possible. This will be your inventory system. You'll come to this. It'll open up. Your inventory will open up. And then you can use your mouse and do stuff. But if you back away from it, you're out of it. So that's the plan. We'll see if it works. Now, this fire here. This is where the story is going to take place. How do you tell a story in a first-person shooter game? Well, that's a very good question. I don't like cutscenes. I think it disrupts the gameplay. So what I've decided to do was take the novel, the characters from the novel, and they will, the NPCs, they'll come around this fire, and they will tell the story from their perspective. So every time you come here, it'll be a little different. You'll be hearing things you've never heard before. You can just come up, hang out here. Of course, if there's a game going on, you might not want to do that too much. Another shrine. Those shrines are also the key to, and we don't have that working yet. It was working in the original prototype. They are also the key, or the keys to the kingdoms, the strongholds, and the empires are located. So when you want to unlock that, that's where you go. Anyways. So it's got a bunch of placeholder stuff here. Playing with some snow. That kind of stuff. And right now I am totally focused on business planning, fundraising, team development, hiring, all that kind of stuff. So I've really switched gears. It's kind of sad because I actually like this part of it, the game development part of it. We've had a couple new people come on, so we've got a fellow joining us that worked with Disney and a whole bunch of other real high-end type stuff. He's going to be doing our character, so he's starting on Balaam. So that image of Balaam that you saw is just a 2D image. So, and then we just had a level developer. It's actually a game designer join us. So we'll see how he fits in. Hopefully I'll be able to show you some new things. One of the things that we want to do is develop the rest of this, because this is just a square of one small aisle that takes place in our open world. So this device has quite a bit of recoil. Look at the sun glinting off that. That's cool. Oh, let's just go through this again. So this isn't going to be like this in the game. This is just our little display thing. So we've got the dark energy, or Derek energy, I guess is how you say it. That's just the dark energy. The Kadesh, which is red. The Havalar, which is blue. The Shalet, which is white. And then the Chamfer, which is the rare energy, which powers everything, and the rare devices too. So devices like this, the Oculus, and I came up with that before Facebook bought it. That's what powers this, so pick that up and that'll power that. And that little display window there will show energy, but we don't have that working yet. And this is a mix. So I just want to show this. So the dark side of that is for the dark weapon. The light side of that is for the light weapon. And those, so this is what you'd shoot people with. This is like the cleanup. So very powerful. They're some of the most powerful things in the game, but they're highly accurate. Well, this one's got splash, so it's not as highly, it's better for cleanup. But this agony, I have to think because we've changed the name of things. And then we have the Kadesh energy, which is the red energy shield. So that's what protects you from the shots. And look at that glinting in the sun. Wow. That is absolutely amazing. Henrique did all of this. Absolutely amazing. He's our lead modeler, doing a fantastic job of bringing the game together. So that is the Havalar shield, which will protect you from the blue energy. The blue energy is this guy. So let's go have a look at the pit. So in our game, it isn't that typical thing where you shoot a guy who's got 100 health, maybe some shield, and now when he gets down to 0, suddenly falls over and dies, and it's always a big surprise because there's nothing. It's not like you're getting hurt. Like in real life, you got shot a couple times. Yeah, that's right, Tadukin. And you got to remember, if you want something in the game, you'd have to probably propose it about 8 years ago. That's when all this game design was done. I'm just teasing you. I was waiting for you to say something so I could say that. Anyways, so this is the pit. So let's just show you what this is like. Let's use this guy. Oh, I don't know if I can land on that. So, no, wait. I don't know. So when you're banished in our game, when you have 0 shield, you're still in the game. You're not dead. And I'll just roll my mouse wheel here. You can see that I've got 100% black and white shield, got 91% blue shield, 91% red shield, and then that 47, that's the rare. I don't know why it looks green, but that's what it looks like at the moment. Should look like a rainbow. And so you're going to spawn up there. You're going to fall all the way down. Your character's going to scream. And then all you're going to have, this is your base device. Oh no, I just screwed up. I pushed the console button by mistake. So let's try that again. That's going to restart the sun, unfortunately. And the clock. So anyways, this is your base device. So it's got a real tiny bit of recoil. Now I don't know why it's vibrating, but it's going to vibrate. And it's supposed to turn, and it's supposed to, those claws are supposed to, claw, like go together. So we don't have that functioning yet. We have the animation done. We don't have it working yet. So need some blueprint work. Anyways, so this is your base device. When you fall into the pit, that's all you're going to have. You're not going to have the scepter in your left hand. All you're going to have is this base device. And you can, as you can see, kind of fly. Kind of. No. It's not set up at all. Anyways, in our original prototype, it was pretty cool. So now let's just pretend that I am banished. I have no devices, no shields, no energy. I got my base device, which doesn't take energy. And I would have to run around and around. I'm actually quite impressed with how this pit turned out. In our first prototype, the level designers did all of that stuff. I told them what I wanted, but I didn't have much say. They would just show me a finished pit. I'd test it and go, oh, wow, you did a really good job. So this is my first attempt to tell the team what to do. We did some concept art, so that was very clear on what we were going to create. So I'm fast running and keeping my nose faced in. So now imagine that there's going to be some pep rolling down here, and I'm going to want to jump those peps. You're going to have a limited jump in here, not our super jump. And then this is the dark side. There's the pep. That needs to be programmed still. There's the pep on this side. This is the kin side. So I know if I go in here, that right up above here is the kin. And there's the pit. Now that's 1.0. We're going to be adding a bunch of caves to the pit. So you don't have to just exit one place, because that would suck if you were trying to exit the pit and people knew that and they were sitting there waiting for you. The other thing that we do, there's a couple things that we do to really begin to balance the game. And one of them is you get lots of points. As you can see, I've got no points. Because I restarted. I would have 90 points there for all the captures I did, but of course there's no enemy. So right here in the middle, there's going to be a cave right here. And that will go to the pit. It's also going to be a sneaky way to get into this. And there we go. I can't start on this side because it's not going to work. Once we have multiplayer up and running, you can pick your side. Play from either side. There's the sun coming across again. I got a feeling... Oh, hey. That's the bear and the bees. Let's just see something. So on the ground, it vibrates in the air. Oh, and then when I jump down, it doesn't. Oh, okay. There's a little bug there, which is typical when you first put this stuff in. So there we go. So we've got the claw in place. So let's just talk about the claw a little bit. The claw, actually, it's going to be easier if I get up there and do it. So now the thing is, when I place this throne, this is going to be exclusive to my scepter. I will have this power, nobody else will have it. Unless they come and step on here and register themselves, then they get my power. And whoever shoots it first gets it. So we'll both get the countdown, but whoever pulls the trigger first will have the power. So sometimes I'll shoot, but my buddy's shot first and he's registered on my throne. And so he'll get it. Now this is all game design stuff I'm done with. But what this claw is for is, now imagine the blades are turning and it's snapping. This claw is for shooting, pushing people off the throne. And that's what we did in our last game. And hopefully you can do it from the back. We'll have to figure that out. Now, if you right-click with this device, it self-pods you. So if you're on a throne and people are hammering on you with all these different devices, you can self-pod, and it stops them from using anything except icicles, and which is a new device that's coming, H2O, and stingers. So that's another device that's coming. In fact, that was supposed to be in, but we've got a little technical thing that we need to work out with that. It's just the way things were done before and the way things are done now. They're just a little bit different. So anyways, so that's what the claw does. And then, like I said, oh, I'm pushing the wrong buttons. Forgive me. I don't know where the right button is. There it is. That's just ways of looking at the game for us. Things that nobody's ever supposed to see. Okay. So the Dark Agony. Rapid Impact. Those two work together on the Dark and Light shields. And then the Wolverine. And then we're going to have the Stingray, which will be the companion to this. And that's more for laying mines. And it's got a bouncers, which are very much like very large grenades that you can bounce around. And they explode when they get near an enemy. And then we have the Hog. And its companion is going to be the H2O, which we don't have in yet. Those things are all coming. And then we have the rare device. Now, this is not going to be on your character. You're going to have to go find this. It's going to be hidden. And I won't tell you about that any more than that. And then there's going to be a companion device to that as well called the PR, the Prismatic Resignator. So we've come up with all these new and unique and original names. And there's the sun moving across the map. My birds are singing. Anyways, again, just a prototype. Just to prove that we know how to make things work. And that's it. So I think that's going to be it for today. I just want to do a little bit of a short update on where we're at and what's happening. So, and I came out of the game, so we're not going to enjoy the sunset today. But we'll do that next week. So I just pushed the wrong button. Pushed a Tilly instead of escape. Or no, instead of 1. That was what it was. Anyways, so it's VindaCator saying thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, all that good stuff. And let's just put this thing back up on the screen one more time. So go to iPlayMore.com, sign up for a video game test of Thunder. We're still very early stage, but as soon as we get multiplayer working, we will bring some people in. And I'd love to hear what you say. And it's a riot moving around the game like this. I've always wanted to do this sort of thing. We accomplished some of this with our prototype, but there were some issues. Our first prototype, there were some issues where when you're sliding up a hill, I think they made it like fish scales and you would get stuck. None of that in Unreal, so that's great. Very happy. So it's VindaCator saying thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, all that good stuff. And we will see you next week. I'm going to just keep doing this every Saturday until we've got this thing fixed up and ready to go. So we'll see you then. It's VindaCator and I am out.